Sorry. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our council meeting on the 10th of March. I'm going to call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Is there any additions to the agenda? If not, could I have a motion, please, to accept? Councillor Lee, sorry?
Sorry, Terry, or sorry, not Terry. Councillor Jessam's trying to get into the meeting, but he doesn't have a link.
Councillor Lebrion, all in favor? Carried. Was he sent a link? Councillor Jessamine? Maybe send it to him again. So the minutes of the regular council meeting held February 24th. Is there any errors, omissions, changes, business? No? Could I have a motion to accept them, please? Councillor Lambert, all in favor? Carried. So moving on to my report. So on March 3rd, we had a CRAW meeting. Discussions were around, of course, business as usual, but a key highlight is the growing interest that since the tariffs have come on, additional municipalities as well as governments and organizations from other provinces are seeking to join our association. Right now we are preparing different op-eds, and we do have some coming out in regional newspapers. And these pieces just basically outline the economic consequences to the businesses of our communities and our municipalities. And we want to make sure that the residents understand them clearly. March 5th, I met with Global Builds. They are the ones that are looking at putting an initiative of a daycare in our community. This is with the Minister of Jobs, Economy and Trades. He is responsible for early learning and the child portfolio. They are engaged on the project, and they do have money in the budget for it, but the government of Alberta needs to adjust the eligibility of this to allow for landowners to be in collaboration with municipalities to put these daycares in. Global Builds is hoping to move forward as soon as they can with this project. High Level is still in the running as one of the areas. So to development, they want us to begin specifying lands for this project and start working on council resolutions to advance it to the next stage. You have all that?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thanks for the question. We have met with Global Builds. We received a forward of the letter that you received, and we've been in contact with them. So we're working on next steps and just waiting for to hear when things are ready to go.
Okay. Also keep in mind the superintendent of the Fort Vermilion School Divisions, because we could be in a partnership with them as well. So when we get our next meeting, we'll make sure that they're informed. Councillor Anderson and I attended AB Munis. Since the United Conservative Party assumed control of the provincial government in 2019, they have say they have put in nearly 700 red tape reduction initiatives and implemented them. They claim that these initiatives have saved Albertans $2.75 billion. I don't see it, but Minister of Service Alberta and Red Tape Reduction, Minister Nally said that for every one piece of legislation that they put in, they remove 4 different ones. The latest piece of legislation to be introduced is the Just Say Yes. And this is if you apply for one of their 400 permits and you do not hear back from the government within 90 days, then you can consider your permit approved. That's their newest piece of legislation. So I guess we better hold their feet to the ground on that one. So I did meet with some Northwestern mayors and reeves at AB Munis. We met to discuss the disparity in energy rates across the province. But Minister Neudorf is proposing new legislation to equalize the distribution rates across the province, but it is not being supported by the majority of the provincial cabinet, largely due to opposition from the Calgary cabinet ministers. So Grande Prairie is ramping up their advocacy efforts in an attempt to have the cabinet reconsider, and they are also engaging their communities to have residents express their desire for change in the province. We felt that the most impactful work that we can do is to lobby our MLA and maybe send this in our notice to our residents, showing them the disparity. ATCO Services we pay under ATCO Services nearly 3.5 times what the rest of the residents in Alberta are paying, and this gap continues to widen. So I do have a chart with these on. I will forward them to the CAO. Perhaps we can do a letter to our residents and to our MLA about this disparity and how it interferes with people wanting to invest in Northern Alberta because of the high energy, not the high energy rates, but the high distribution rates. So on the next note, I want to tell everybody that we are having elections on October 20th for people in high level that want to run for government. You can start putting your name forward now. I feel that this is a good time. I want to address the citizens about a piece that was put into the paper, and it is about wayfinding signs and changing the branding for high level. This is not out of your taxpayer money. This is a grant that we applied for and were successful in getting it. So I just want you to know that your potholes will be filled, but not with this grant money, because it's a different pocket of money. And if you feel that we are in error, we appreciate you coming to our council meeting and hearing about all these grants that our staff have worked hard to get on your behalf so that you don't have to pay with your tax-paying dollars. So on that note, I want to also say new legislation for anybody who is running for council. That means returning council as well as anybody that's new. You must take EOEP Munis 101 within 10 days of being elected. And there will be a in-person session in Grande Prairie on Saturday, November 1st from 8:30 to 4. I suggest we register for that now for all 7 councillors I mean, if they decide to back out, then we can take our name out, but we should do that. You also have the alternative of registering online, Saturday, October 25th, which is an all-day course, Sunday, which is an all-day course, or Monday, the 27th. So you have those two options, but Grand Prairie is the only place in the north offering this, and every council has to take it. So we should get registered there. We did attend the policing model that's coming out, of course, high level because it's under 5,000, the province will be responsible for us. It was not a very well thought out presentation from my perspective. There was a lot of information and nothing really substantive about it. But there is a conference in Westlock in May 1st to 3rd, for anybody that wants to attend. I do believe the deputy mayor is attending, I'm not sure. But yeah, so they will have a 2-day conference about this new policing model. And finally, I had a conversation with Minister Dreeshen. I reminded him about how much High Level has done for fire and et cetera, et cetera. Then I told him that we had applied for STIP and that we hoped that we would have his support in getting that STIP funding. And he said my timing was perfect because they are just coming out with it and he will be looking for it. So fingers crossed, we do get another grant to do paving in our community. And that's my report. Any questions? All right, could I have someone accept it then, please?
I'll move the mayor's report.
Thank you, Councillor Anderson. All in favor? Carried. So council committee reports, Councillor Anderson.
February 26th, I attended the Golden Range Society's AGM. Had good attendance, probably the biggest meeting attendance in quite some time, and was new board members were elected, and it was a very good meeting. February 27th, the High Level Library Board meeting. And on March 6th and 7th, also I attended the Alberta Muni Spring Municipal Leaders Convention. And I will agree with the mayor. It was actually a pretty good conference. Lots of good information. Some great speakers that, were speaking on, Trump and what his tariffs are going to be like and how it's going to affect everybody. And the big consensus there was get off of social media, quit listening to what you're being heard or told, because most of it is only half-truths and innuendos. So it was very informative and, and again, well attended as well. And that's all I have to report.
That was, they said, the largest they've had for a spring one. Who's your new president?
Debbie Brewster is our president.
All right, thank you. Any questions of? No? Thank you, Councillor Anderson. Councillor Jessamine? Turn your mic on. Can't hear him. Councillor Lambert?
On March 4th, the Chamber of Commerce, we put on a new event called Business After 5. So it's something we're going to be doing, probably trying to do it at least once a month. Just inviting different businesses out. Actually, Councillor Welke was there, so he can probably talk about that too. He attended it. But yeah, we thought it was well attended, and we got to meet some new people, put some faces to some names, and just introduce a few more people to the chamber and what we're all about, and talk about the trade show coming up here in May, and yeah, stir up some more excitement. But that's.
So where was your business after?
Oh yes, actually, we had it at the Eagle, and they did a fantastic job hosting. The food was great, the atmosphere was nice, it was a good space. Staff were really good too, so yeah, it was a good option to have in town.
That's it.
That's all I have to report.
I saw you on the front page opening up,
Oh yeah, actually, that's a good. Yeah, we as part of the chamber, we helped the Red Apple with their grand opening. So they rebranded from the Bargain Shop to the Red Apple, offer some new products. I mean, fairly similar to what it was before, but I think it's a nice fresh face inside, and yeah, it looks really good.
so why did they go from Bargain to Red Apple?
That I'm not 100% sure. I think they were just more of a. I think they're phasing out the Bargain Shop because they're owned by the same company, and I think they're phasing out the Bargain Shops and changing them all to Red Apple.
Is Red Apple Canadian?
I assume.
Thank you. Councillor Lebrion.
Okay, all I have to report is the high-level municipal library board meeting on February 27th. Other than that, I want to throw a congratulations to the LMP Disposal U13 hockey team who brought home the banner this weekend. So great job, everybody. And that's all I have to report.
Congratulations to them. I saw that. Councillor Welke.
Got one other thing over here. On February 25th, I had an FASD board meeting, just standard, nothing new to report. And on March 4th, yes, I also attended the Chamber's, what is it called? After 5? Business After 5 event. And yeah, it was really well done. And the informality of it, I think, was its strong point, where it's just a bunch of people getting together in meetings. So, not a big agenda to have to try to put together, and then also the ability for the chamber, I think, to hold something like that monthly is very feasible, because it was just a simple structure, but enough people came out even for the first one, and I think the attendance would get even better. Food was great, venue was great, so good job to the chamber. That's all I have to report.
Thank you. Could I have someone move the council reports, please?
I'll move.
Councillor Welke, all in favor? Carried. I'll turn it over to our CAO now for her report.
Good evening, Your Worship and Council. I collaborated with the directors to finalize the budget for Council's review and approval, address some of the questions brought forward at the last council meeting. I also continue to work closely with staff to complete the 2023 and 2024 year-end processes, reconciling grants and outstanding balances to ensure we meet our statutory obligations with the province. I also engaged with representatives from the Alberta Emergency Management Agency to advocate for increased provincial support in managing the ongoing evacuations we're seeing year after year. I worked with the legislative consultant to address some legislative outstanding priorities and oversee the preparations for the municipal election. And I successfully facilitated the rollout of the LAPP pension plan for staff. And a substantial portion of my time remains dedicated to resolving pre-existing HR matters that I inherited upon my arrival.
I do have questions about the lab. This was brought to me after we had our meeting, and it sounds similar to the teachers' retirement fund. In that can they get their money out of there if they are sick and need it for medical treatment?
Through your worship, I will have to ask them and then report back.
Okay. The other is I can never get my money out of there. I can never, other than quitting, taking it out and that's the only way I can get it all out. I can never, you know, if there's, for example, with RRSPs, you can use your RSPs for a down payment on your house, as long as you pay that back. But LAP, does that have that?
I don't believe so, Your Worship, but I can ask and then report back.
And the other question was, like I said, you can't get your money back unless you quit, right? Can you get it back?
Retire, yes.
What if you quit and go into logging or something else?
Yeah, then it depends on what kind of plan the logging company will hold, and then if they can transfer or not, that.
So if you can't transfer, can you get it? I've just heard that there's been a lot of problems with LAP, and I think we need to look at some of these questions a little bit more.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, I think it's good if you want to spend your entire life in municipal government and retire from it, but that's not the reality anymore for a lot of people. Like, they might become nurses or whatever. I just want to know that they are able to transfer that or somehow get their money out. Or
Yep, we'll look into it.
Councillor Jessman, did you have a question?
Can you hear me? No? Yeah?
Yes.
I can hear you now, yes.
Yes. No, we've been a part of LAP in the past, and we've drawn our money out and have been successful in reinvesting it. So we've never had any problems with it in the past when we moved from BC to Alberta. So it worked quite well, and it works for our investments.
Okay, so, but you stayed in forestry, is that where you have your LAP?
No, you reinvested in whatever investments you want to. We went through a financial advisor and they invested it on our behalf.
Okay. Okay, good to know. All right, those are just some of the things that I've been asked to ask. So, is there any other questions of the CAO? So, when are we going to have the finality on this, on these two financial reports?
Through your worship, I am working diligently with staff and some of our consultants to get all the information we need. And hopefully before we have to apply for an extension for 2024. So
I'm specifically speaking of the two previous years.
I'm just waiting for some information right now. And then I'm hoping to get the previous years done very soon.
Okay. I gave you a target date of March.
I know, I'm trying to meet, but I have to rely on a lot of people right now, given the circumstances. So I can assure you I'm doing my best.
I believe you.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Okay, could someone move the report, please? Councillor Lebrion, all in favor? Carried. 9.1, appointment of returning officer.
Through your worship, the town, as you've mentioned earlier, the town of High Level will hold its next municipal election on October 20th, 2025. Administration has retained the services of Debbie McCann. She's an experienced legislative services officer, and she will conduct, should council approve the appointment, the Town of High Level 2025 municipal election, and then also assist with some other legislative duties. So Ms. McCann has informed me that the LAEA has undergone significant amendments since the previous 2021 municipal election. And should council accept the appointment, she intends to present these changes for council's information and consideration at the next council meeting. And according to section 13 of the LAEA, a returning officer must be appointed no later than June 30th, 2025. and given the extensive preparation required for a municipal election and the fact that the nomination period is already open, with candidates able to file their nomination papers from January 2nd until noon on September 22nd, 2025, administration is seeking the appointment of Debbie McCann as a returning officer for the town of High Level.
Is there any questions? Could I have a motion, please? Councillor Lebrion makes the motion to appoint Debbie McCann as the returning officer. All in favor? Carried. Question, will she be coming here?
Yes,
Okay,
she will be here at the next council meeting.
okay. Nine two,
Through your worship, Lydia Waters, Chair of the Town of High Level Municipal Library Board, has requested that council extend both her term and Taryn McCastle's term on the board from 2 years to 3 years. They were initially appointed to the board on December 11th, 2023, under Council Resolution Number 454-23. However, due to a clerical oversight, the term of their appointments was not specified. So this extension would extend their terms to December 10th, 2026, and administration has confirmed the appointment, date, and then is resubmitting this request to council for consideration, along with relevant information regarding the municipal library appointments.
you skipped one.
I skipped one? Sorry.
That's
My apologies.
okay, we can do the appointments and then go back to 9-2. So just check in at 9-3, please. And these are the appointments. There is a motion there. Does someone want to make it? Councillor Lebrion, makes the recommendation that council appoints Lydia Waters and Taryn McCaskill to the High Level Board. All in favor? Carried. No, it's none. I know.
Okay.
9-2.
No,
Oh.
I was just saying the alternatives, or referring the matter back.
We already referred it back.
Well, that's what yeah, but option one then should have been
It's
to
here.
actually appoint them.
It's here, the recommendation. So back to 9-2.
Yeah, my apologies, your
That's-
worship.
That's fine, we all do it, and me more than the rest. So, the Municipal Library Board Financial Reviewer, go ahead.
Yes. So the town had previously approved Metrics Group as the financial reviewer for both the town and the library board. However, on January 22nd, 2024, the town chose not to continue using the services of Metrics Group and retain Doyle and Company, chartered professional accountants, to conduct the Town of High Level municipal audits for 2023, 24, and 25, and passed a resolution to that effect. Lydia Waters, Chair of the Town of High Level Municipal Library Board, is under the impression that the financial review audit of the municipal library's books were included in the auditor's contract with the town. Upon review of the engagement letter between the Town of High Level and Doyle and Company, signed by the former CAO and former Director of Finance, there is no mention of a financial review or audit for the Municipal Library Board's books. And so when the auditor changes, the Public Library Services Branch needs to see proof that the town has approved a new financial reviewer and auditor as part of the board's provincial library operating grant application. So this is to ensure compliance with the legislation and for determining legitimacy of the review. So to meet the requirements of Section 6 of the Libraries Act, administration is bringing forward a recommendation for council to appoint Doyle and Company as the financial reviewer for the high-level municipal library board for the fiscal year of 2024 and 2025.
Any questions? Go ahead, Counselor Will.
What is the financial impact?
At this point, none, because it's their audit, so the town is separate from it.
I can speak to that. So our last auditors, the auditors usually, in most cases, include it in the price for doing our books. It's just a free for the library. The problem is with the PLSB Services Board, they don't have a motion from us stating that our new guys are gonna do that.
But the new Doyle will include it in?
I haven't had communication with them.
Okay.
Yeah,
From what I understand, they received our paperwork, but they said until they had a motion, they couldn't essentially do it.
Oh, okay.
So you
what I
haven't
understand.
talked to Doyle?
through your worship, I reached out to them and I haven't heard back. It's not part of the current contract between the town and Doyle.
So it could essentially increase our,
Yes. And then at that point, if that's the case, I'll bring this back to council for consideration.
We won't really have a choice,
no.
but it would just be interesting to know the financial impact, because I think part of our decision for our auditing was pricing. And hopefully that doesn't change it significantly, so, thank you.
All right, any other questions? Could I have a motion, please? And I'm not accepting any from Counselor Lieber.
I'll make the motion.
Counselor Anderson, all in favor? Carried. So on to 9.4 and the operating budget.
Sorry, wasn't there another appointment in there for Jane, for the library board?
That was done through your worship, that was done at the last council meeting.
Okay, I just saw it in this
Yeah,
package
it
again.
was, but it was done the
Okay.
last.
I just included for council's information
Okay,
the last.
thank you.
So 9.4 operating budget.
So, through your worship, over the past 2 months, the administration has been working hard to craft the current budget. This included a day-and-a-half council budget workshop with administration on January 24th and 25th. These discussions helped pave the way for the current budget as presented. Over the day and a half, administration walked council through each department, fielding comments and questions and making any necessary changes. Changes have been noted in Appendix A, and administration made further refinements to the budget. These are also listed in Appendix A. Appendix B has been attached to show the operating budget per division. This gives an overview of the allocated funds for the upcoming year for each division and subsequent lower department. As required by DMGA, the town must forecast operations for the next 3 years. The budget indicates slight increases for similar services over this period. Future years will be revised and adjusted during the next budget process. Attached as Appendix C is the 3-year forecast for 2025 to 2027. The proposed tax increases are currently budgeted at 3% for 2026 and 4.39% for 2027. Please note that future years are placeholders and that the actual tax increase may differ based on council's strategic direction. As part
Go ahead.
As part of the budget package, administration has included a 2% cost of living adjustment for all staff. This adjustment has been applied to the 2024 pay grids and increased accordingly. Additionally, the budget allows for step increases for those who have had successful performance reviews but did not receive salary increases. The current 2025 operating budget has been prepared with a 2.95 tax increase, a 1% tax increase yields approximately 71,000 of new revenue for the town. And in the report, there is a table showing the impact on both residential and then highway commercial properties. The province of Alberta has yet to release the 2025 and 2026 budget, so the Alberta School Foundation Fund, ASFF, requisition is unknown. A budget adjustment will be brought forward with the tax rate bylaw to account for the increase or decrease of the ASFF requisitions. The provincial budget has released the school education requisition for 2025. The town will levy 1.615 million in education
So
tax.
that was my question. What's the difference between those two? What's the ASFF?
The ASFF is the Alberta School Foundation Fund, and then a school education requisition. Through your worship, I can ask our financial consultant and bring back a response.
I do believe they're the same
Oh, they're the
thing.
same? Okay.
And the.
Not sure.
And the education requisition was just released, so.
Okay. So the province has reverted back to requesting approximately 32% of the province education budget. And this has a net effect on the town by increasing the total requisition by 185,000 or 11.5%.
And this is gonna have a big tax increase on people. So, they need to realize that it's the big province of Alberta that did this, that they reverted back to taking 32% from the communities. So, when your taxes go up, make sure you check and see that it's education taxes, which are collected directly by the town but given to the province. We are the collection agency for them. Do not think that that is your town of high-level taxes. Just to be clear. Sorry.
Nope, all good, through your worship. So, at the last council meeting, a question was raised concerning the swings in both revenue and expenses for emergency services. This swing was an increase of 13% in revenue and a decrease in expenses by 17%. Through the budget workshop, discussions were had about reducing the transfer to reserve under the wildland urban interface, 641,366. This transfer was an incorrect way of dealing with a department's prior year's surplus. Administration balanced out the wildland urban interface, so no town money supports the provincial program. And the increase in revenue was due to the fire department receiving more calls for service. The budget increased by 187,000 to account for this. To help understand the changes in the 2024 and 2025 budget, administration has attached Appendix D, Operating Budgets by Department. This shows the further breakdown per department. Administration will continue to take a cautious approach in rolling out the 2025 operating budget, including new service levels, positions, and non-essential capital spending. This approach will be maintained until the town's auditors present the 2023 and 2024 audited financial statements, allowing finance and administration to gain a clear and accurate picture of the town's financial position. Thank you. I welcome any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? No questions even about development services, 487,000 swing. All right. What, you're thinking?
So this budget, if it was approved, doesn't reflect the school tax presented, or the numbers that should be presented by the provincial government. Can we delay the budget until we get those numbers so that?
Through your worship, I will advise against it. We can bring that back once we have the numbers, and then that's the plan.
Well, isn't that our budget number, the 184,000?
Yes. The budget, through your worship, is Councillor Anderson asking about the numbers that haven't been released yet?
Well, yes, I am. It's gonna be an increase of 180 some thousand over last year. So what does that do to the taxes that we collect from individuals and give to the province? Because that is the budget, or a portion of the budget, of our operating budget.
Through your worship, I'm not sure I'm following the increase of,
Well,
Our levy, the town will levy 1.615 million in education taxes. That's what we have to levy? The province says, that's what it says, but that figure's not in the budget. The 185 is in there, but not that figure. I think that's what you're saying.
yes, that's what I'm saying.
we
I
can.
mean, I realize that that's just an in and an out, but when the taxes hit the citizens' post office boxes, they should know what's coming at them with an accurate number, not, we'll change it in the near future.
Through your worship, yes, we can make an amendment if necessary, and then before any communication go out to the public, we will have the accurate figures.
Yeah, I'm not understanding what's written here. It said the town will levy 1.615 million in education taxes. Okay, so then it says the province has reverted back to requesting 32%. This net effect on the town, this has a net effect on the town by increasing the total requisition by 185,000. So are we levying 1.6? Are we adding this 1.8 or 185? I don't know what he means by that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I think normally we would be levying the 1.615 minus $185,000 basically is what it would normally be. And this year it'll just be $185,000 more.
Well, yeah, I know that, but it doesn't say that here in the budget.
But this is the in and out, this school tax, it's the in and out, it's not, it wouldn't be in our budget.
Yeah, but it goes into our tax bill as an in-out.
Okay.
Through your worship, prior to issuing the tax notices, we will make sure that we have the correct amount, and then if needed, we can bring an amendment to council.
Yeah, because it's here as 1.6 in the requisition.
Which includes the $185,000.
Yeah, I think so.
It should, because the number is the number, and then they're just stating that it is a little bit higher than it was before, to the tune of $185,000.
Yeah, I think
But
so.
that 1.615 is the number.
Yeah,
Let's wait.
it's not in our budget, but it's in our final requisition, what will go out to the town. Or we will go out to the people. Okay. Are you satisfied, Councillor Anderson?
For the moment.
We can make amendments to this.
Absolutely.
Any other questions from council? Can I have a motion then? Nobody's raising their hand. Counselor Jessamine. All in favor?
What's his motion?
It's on the front page that council adopts the 20 as presented. Or information, which one is it?
As presented.
All in favor? Carried. And down to correspondence for information. Can someone move that for information, please?
I'll move correspondence for information.
Counselor Anderson, thank you. All in favor? Carried. Outgoing correspondence, did we not have a letter for AFPA?
Through your worship, we were waiting for a template. So once they supply us with a template,
I
they
don't think they
mentioned that
knew that you were waiting.
they said that they-
Mayor, Mr. Brooks said that they're happy to assist with the draft letter.
Okay, you talked to him today?
No, but he said that in the meeting, Mayor.
You should contact him then.
Yeah, I will be reaching out to their executive assistant
Yeah,
tomorrow.
because he contacted me today.
Okay.
Okay, so we did send one out to the Mackenzie Regional Landfill for support. So could I have a motion to accept 13.2 for information?
I'll make that motion.
Counselor Welke, all in favor? Carried. And that's it. So I need a motion for adjournment. No. Counselor Lambert, would you like to move for adjournment? Sure. All in favor? Carried. Bye, Counselor Jessamine. Are we off?
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, Terry.
Get those walls painted.